I'm Vic Myers. Welcome to the Resistance. What does real representation look like? I think that's a good question in this age of gerrymandering on steroids and Citizens United. Thanks to my friend in Chicago, Bob, who sent me information on a VA rule change that took effect on February 17th, 2026, the day I'm recording this, I have a great example to illustrate what I think representation should look like. First, the problem. The rule change I just mentioned taking effect today was also published today. If you want to read it, go look for this. Now, the first red flag here is that it was published prior to having a public comment period. You can still comment, but it won't matter. The normal process for this kind of thing is that the agency proposes a rule, and then a public comment period happens of usually 30 to 60 days. Then the agency reviews the comments, and then the final rule is published, and the rule itself takes effect at a later date. Now, the second red flag is that this rule change is likely to reduce benefits for disabled veterans. In a nutshell, it says that if you have a service-connected disability rating that pays X dollars, and you get meds to address your symptoms, then when your reevaluation comes around, your new rating will be based on how you are with the meds. New claimants will be rated with this new formula. This is basically a systemic cut to VA benefits without saying that they're cutting benefits. Now that we know what the problem is, what does representation look like when it comes to those to whom we've given the privilege of being our voice at all levels of government? And the reason I say all levels is because if you show me a politician around election time, I'll show you somebody who's tripping over himself or herself to get their picture taken with a veteran. The vast majority of these people, they either won't know about this rule, or they'll play the hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil thing as if they didn't know. That's not real representation. And since I want to be a state legislator, I'll tell you what I would do. I reckon when the other guy sees this, he'll take my lead and do it. A couple of weeks ago, I told you about the House Rules and the Congressional Review Act of 1996. House Rule 11, Clause 2, says a member can request certain oversight committees to call in administration officials to testify and justify things like this rule change. Theoretically, it kind of gives Congress an opportunity to override the rule. The Congressional Review Act is a law that requires the executive to submit rule changes to the Senate and the House and the Government Accountability Office prior to implementing the rule. Now, if I were a state representative, first thing I'd do is call all of the members of our state's congressional delegation, and I'd ask them if these things were done. Then I'd demand that they take action on it if the answer is no. If they ignore me, which is possible, then I would take a group of veterans to their offices with the media and put public pressure on them. I'd be on them like a dog on a bone. Or for those of you who are familiar with Athena, like Athena on a rock. Contact your members of Congress about this rule. Then contact your state level and local level representatives and demand that they do what I just outlined. Do it for our veterans. They've done much more for you. Thanks for listening. Good day.